Hi, my name is Ali, and for this assignment, the project is the analysis of used car prices in India. Okay, so the project background, basically, for this assignment, it will be a study conducted on the used car market prices in India. Okay, so to determine the value of used car, it can be quite abstract where, you know, it's not really a concrete value. It changes every now and then. So by doing this, we can actually build a model that helps us to predict the used car price. Okay, so the outcome is beneficial for number one, general public who is looking forward to sell their cars or buy used cars. Dealerships are selling and buying used cars, and for banks and loan providers to check the car values of their customers for loan collateral. Okay, so the scope of the project is used car market in India collected up until December 2024. So the domain is transportation because we are dealing with cars, yeah, and financial because it helps us, especially for consumers, to plan out our financial when it comes to cars. Okay, so the problem statement is how can the value of used cars be predicted using data science techniques? The aim is to predict the resale value of cars based on several factors. The objective is number one is to study how value of used car is distributed. Number two is to develop a prediction model that is able to give the value of a used car. And number three is to evaluate the precision and accuracy of the prediction model built. Okay, so the literature study based on the literature study that have been made. Number one, the used car market in India has been steadily increasing since 1990s because there has been an increase in the middle class population ever since then. And based on the trends, number one, Asian brands are more popular than European American brands, and because of that, they tend to have a higher resale value compared to the European American cars. There is also many studies have shown that there is a strong correlation between a negative correlation between kilometer driven and used car price, as seen on the graph at the right. So, as kilometer driven increases, the value decreases, and then finally in the studies made, they've used multiple models such as regression, random forest, decision tree, extra gradient boost, and also multivariate spline regression. Okay, so the methodology, the first one is to obtain. So the data is obtained from Kaggle, which is a used car dataset in India. So for this project, Python is used for the data analysis. So data is first is imported using Pandas. So the dataset size is 14,993 rows times 11 columns. So the columns are brand of the car, model of the car, year which the car was manufactured, the age of the car, basically how old the car is. KM driven is how long has the car been on the road. Transmission is whether it is a auto or manual car. Uh, Owner is whether the person selling the car is the first owner or second hand owner. And fuel type basically whether it's diesel or petrol. Posted date is basically when the car was posted. Additional info is just description of the car. Ask price is the selling price that is being posted. So the next methodology is scrub. So first, rows with missing values are removed. So there are a few cells in particular in KM driven column with empty values. So those rows are removed. And then unused columns, model and additional info are also removed. Model is removed because there are too many different types of models which would hamper the model building. And for additional info, it's just a description of the car where almost all rows have different additional info, different description. Okay, continuing. So for KM driven and ASPICE columns, the values are in string format, including with the units. So basically, like for KM driven, the kilometer unit is there, and for the ASPICE, the Indian rupee unit is there. So in order to convert to numerical, these units are first removed, and then the value is then converted to numerical format. So after cleaning, only 0.59% of the rows in the dataset was removed. Okay, so this is the explore part. So here you can see that the distribution of prices, uh, if you can see here, most of the car price, if you look at the scale, is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 1 times 10 to the power of 7, which is 10 million rupees. So you can see that most of the cars are, I think, less than 3 million rupees. And then you have the distribution of car age, where you can see most of the cars posted are less than 20 years old. And then the distribution of mileage. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4. That the scale is times 10 to the power of 6, which is for this one is actually 1 million. So as you can see, the distribution of mileage most of them are less than 300,000 kilometers km driven. And then the next one, we have the categorical value. So we have the brand. So here you can see the biggest market share is held by Suzuki, and Asian brands clearly dominates here. European brands are not that many. And then you have the transmission distributed distribution, where it's almost 50-50 for auto transmission and manual transmission. The same goes with owner distribution. It's almost 50-50, like 52% for second-hand owners selling their cars and 48% first-hand owners selling their cars. And then finally, you have the fuel type distribution, where 38.9% for petrol cars, 35% for diesel, 13.3% for electrical hybrid cars, and then 12.8% for natural gas hybrid cars. Okay, so ethical consideration. So number one, we ensured that the data uh, is not no privacy is being infringed here. There is no data on the license plate, on the info of the owner selling, and so on. So the data transparency part is we clearly make sure that the data is being used correctly. Okay, and then misuse or misunderstanding of the model output. So that one we have to consider, because some people might misuse the model for their own purposes. So this one is only for to predict used car prices and the market effect. So when with this model, it might change the market a bit, because cars which are less desirable might be more desirable because people might think it's cheap, so might as well buy them. And then the changing trend is because trends are forever changing, meaning that for future trends we have to relearn a new model. So impact of the project, it gives trends of used cars, the prices. It allows many people to compare car prices, reduce unfair pricing from dealership, and estimate the current values of cars owned. These are the references, and that's all. Thank you.